Hey there, everybody. Daver here, and with me, Chad and Chandler, and welcome to Grapple Sauce. Woo!
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah.
Uh, yeah, don't forget to elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a damn comment. We want to know what you're thinking. We're here today to review AEW Double or Nothing. How you feel about it, gentlemen?
I was bored. Nah, just kidding.
Yeah,
It was great.
Saturday night main event was so much better. I mean, who cares about like Monet and Tony Storm and Omega and Okada? Dave, we're getting Logan Paul and John Cena versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes at Money in the Bank.
Ooh.
Sorry to be the one to drop that on you, but who's Ospreay? Who's Takeshita? Match of the year alert! Ding ding ding. I'm kidding. I thought this was a pretty damn good show. Yeah, I got nothing else. Like, I kind of just was like, yeah, it was pretty good. I don't really have. I have some matches I went a little in depth on, but there were some where I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A lot of it, I was like, that was fun, and then there's a few matches to me that I was like, wow, this is amazing. But for me, like the low bar was pretty good.
Yeah. We got a whole month and a half before All In, so hopefully we'll have some good booking for like people like Ospreay, where we don't really know what's gonna happen with him right now, but we got time for that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Real quick though, match of the night, Chad.
Ooh, for me, it's the main event. Which didn't start that way, man. It went like total New Japan. Like the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, get to the good stuff. But when the good stuff got, it was like one of those Domino's pizza trackers, preparing. Once they got it into the oven, it was great.
How about you, Chandler?
Y'all are gonna hate me with this. I'm going off of the match that made me feel the most, and this isn't me saying I didn't like the other matches, but Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia versus FTR legit made me like I had to stop the show because it like legit made me so sad. All of it. Daniel Garcia's back. I hate FTR again. Nigel McGuinness is like the purest baby face in AEW. Like,
Yeah.
come on, it was such a good match. But I don't want to take away from like Hangman Ospreay, Anarchy in the Arena, Monet Hater. All of those were really good. I don't think there was a bad match on this show, honestly. Not even like an okay match. I would say every single maybe the tag team title match, but we can get into that.
For me, that was like, I don't want to call it the worst, but it was like
It was definitely the least good match, and
Yeah.
honestly, all I cared about
it
was
wasn't bad.
MVP and MJF were kind of the only good things in the match. Because MVP was good on commentary and MJF was silly, so
Nothing got ruined for me for that. But yeah, for me, match of the night, Anarchy in the Arena. I'm a sicko for
mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
They did some stuff there that I can't even like understand how they even came up with it. I don't even
That
know.
was that was definitely my popcorn match of the night. Like it was fun, it was crazy. The bits with the music had me chuckling. Yeah, it was a good time all in all.
Yeah, it was a lot of good people got to win in that match particularly, so it was good to see that.
I'm happy with AEW being self-aware about the Pointer Sisters. I'm so
That was
excited.
funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. I got a little bit annoyed at them playing the song like 4 or 5 times. I was like, "Oh my god, I get it. I get it." And then they just played it again. I'm like, "Oh my god, I get it." And then they played it again. I was like, "Oh my god, I get it." So I wasn't really paying attention while they were playing that song, and then the wrestling started, or not the wrestling, but the carnage started, and
Yeah.
it got going.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had to order it off of Amazon Prime for the very first time.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. A couple different reasons. One, once you order it, you open it up or click, whatever, open it up, and you're on 0 hour. like immediately, and then it just transitions like Bleacher Report used to straight into the pay-per-view. I don't have to like get on YouTube, watch the pre-show, and then like scramble to like change this and go to this other thing for the pay-per-view. That made me happy. And dude, the picture was crystal clear. There was no lagging. There was no like sometimes things for me on like HBO or whatever will get like a little pixelated and like a little fuzzy and out of focus every now and again for me. That didn't happen one time. It just looked so professional, so clean and clear. Kind of big fan of that. So, um, we'll see what happens when what HBO Max is going to have reduced priced AEW pay-per-views, right? Starting with All In. So we'll see how that goes. But I really enjoyed my Amazon Prime experience. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and dig right in.
Yeah.
Double or Nothing, 2025. Shit, where in Arizona were they? Not Tucson, Phoenix. It was Phoenix.
I'm sure you're right. I'm just gonna double check. But
I remember a sign saying,
Yep.
"Please come to Tucson."
Okay.
But yeah, I liked uh the motif of the logo. It was like had cacti and like southwestern like Native American kind of like patterns on it. It was pretty cool. Um but yeah, during the pre-show they let us know they were going to start the night off with Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter in the Owen Hart Cup tournament women's final. Uh Mercedes Moné ended up getting the win from Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
I kind of, I didn't know who was going to win. Honestly, I thought Monet it would be safe for her to take a loss. Uh, but yeah, let's see. Hayter reverses a pile driver into a tombstone. Monet kicks out at 2.99, but Monet counters a Haterade into a nasty DDT roll
That
up
was
combo for
wild.
the win.
Yeah. DDT roll up thing. I was like, what just happened?
It looked like she was just trying to go for a roll up, and maybe Hater just was at a wrong angle, and they were like, "Oh, it became a DDT," and it's like, yeah, the old Jake the Snake Roberts DDT where he dropped him on their head, like that one. But like, I am sure it was fine, or I hope Jamie Hater's fine. But I thought this was a really excellent start to the pay per view. I think Monet's a good choice for winning because it's like one of the only people that people are actually gonna boo instead, or like they'll really boo. It's a really good heel for Tony Storm to face.
True.
And I think this will be them officially saying Tony Storm's our top woman in AEW. And I don't think that's just wishful thinking. I genuinely think they're gonna do that. So.
Yeah. So you're thinking Tony will hand Monet her first loss?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I always feel like people are a lot more interesting after a loss. So how does Monet pick herself up and still be the TBS champion? Are they going to make her defend the belt, or are they going to have like another women's match on the card, like maybe Willow and Marina Shafir or something like that? I don't know, but anyway, just some specific things I liked in the match. There was a great dual kick spot that led into a like they looked like they kicked each other for real. That shit was hard. And then Jamie Hayter hit an excellent lariat. Hayter was just like fantastic the whole match. I think she was my MVP for this one. Where's this Jamie Hayter been? Like, I don't know. I haven't been watching everything she's done, but like, has she been this good recently?
No. That like since she came back, I was always I've been waiting for this version to come out because that used to be her on the regular basis, and it's like I don't know. Maybe she just needed the right partner because like her and Monet just tore it up.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know she's always had it in her. Like she's always been that good. So yeah, they had great chemistry.
hmm yeah, great match.
Um, yeah, the only little weird thing, Hater slipped on the steps trying to jump over them to hit that lariat, but she recovered. It wasn't that bad. It's not like she ate shit and ruined the whole thing. So she recovered like a true professional. Um, Dude, there were so many backstabbers to
Yeah.
Hater. Like Monet was targeting that back. Like that was like the story of the match. Like Hater had the injury. Monet knows about it. She's trying to exploit it. I really, I like that about it. Um, and I think what you were talking about, Chandler, you're talking about the thrust kick to Monet immediately with to the knee to Hater,
Yeah.
and then a lariat to Monet.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god,
that was
dude.
hard hitting. That wasn't even my favorite part. My favorite part was Monet going for the O'Connor roll. You know, the thing where Zack Sabre Jr. does, and then he like goes back, right? And Hater countered it by choking out Monet. I've never seen that before. That was such a good counter.
Yeah. Yeah. That was.
I'm sure people have done it before, but like, holy shit, she did it so well, and I got this match spoiled. Sorry, but I got me. I was like, oh my god, is she gonna do it? But I was like, oh, I know who wins. I know who wins.
And the way Monet sold that tombstone pile driver, dude, with their like
Oh, their knees
knees
bent.
bent or
Oh.
legs like
Oh.
tucked under her, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely amazing.
you got my neck, brother. You had me so
Yeah.
tight. You bunched me up.
Um, Man, every time we talk about Monet, man, we were not for it for a
At
little
this
bit, man.
at this point, I feel like she's been good longer than she's been bad in
Yeah.
AEW. So like I just kind of expect this at this point. Like, yeah, she is one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It just took her a minute to get rolling, but now that she is, oof,
well, she
bangers
did come
after
back from like
bangers.
a big injury, and
Yeah.
they just weren't really talking about that. And I feel like if they did, a lot of the expectations for the beginning of our run would have been a lot like it would have like if I don't think they said she was injured until the week before Double or Nothing, and they confirmed it like, oh, she's been injured, but now, and it's like, why didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and man, the one thing I don't want to miss a second of is the build to Monet Storm on
Oh.
Dynamite, Collision, whatever they're gonna do. I don't
Rampage.
want to. I don't want to miss a second of any of their face to face, like the funny stuff. Like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I want Tony Storm to say something cheeky like, "I'm trying to protect the AEW World Championship from you." Like do the CM Punk Hangman Page line, but
Oh, yeah, I like that. But yeah, fantastic opener to a really great show. But moving along, second match, we got heel FTR versus good guys, Danny Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, buddy. Um, FTR ended up getting the win. Dax got Garcia in a sharpshooter. And I've heard some negativity about this, but I really admire that he passed out. That just shows he's a badass. Like
it happens
people are like, oh,
before.
people are like, you tap out of the sharpshooter, you don't pass out. Like,
Except for when
well,
Steve Austin did it. That was okay, but not again. Like
like
what?
he was losing blood.
In wrestling, it's all fake, so I can kind of just go, the pain's so intense they passed out. I can
Yeah.
believe that. I can live in that lore. Like,
Yeah.
they just hit him with a pile driver and then two spike pile drivers, and that, like, the guy's hurting, and then they put him in a sharpshooter. I can believe in the world of wrestling that he didn't want to tap out. He couldn't bear to tap out, but he passed out, you
Yeah.
know?
I like it. I love the ending. Uh, yeah, I think they did Garcia, a lot of favors in this. He looked good. He went out, never tapped out. He was you know, trying to be a badass.
Mhm.
FTR got a lot of heat from it. Nigel was on point, dude.
Oof,
Nigel was great. He got all the
man.
sympathy. I love Shivani like checking on him and them trying to intimidate Shivani.
Yeah,
That freaking
Shivani was like, there were 5 important men in this match, and that was Tony Schiavone. He was killing
Yeah.
it the whole time, especially FTR was coming out and they panned to Tony. He legit, like, it's real to him. He looks so, like, devastated at FTR's just being right now, which, like, I didn't think he could do it. I didn't think he, like, genuinely could look so upset. It was
Right.
amazing.
ah,
Yeah, no. And then invested Tony Schiavone is just amazing. I feel like for when the show wasn't amazing, he was definitely checked out a bit. But
Oh, yeah.
now,
Wow,
now,
what
now
a
that he's
moment!
back, it's like this is great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I said, this was probably my favorite match. I loved FTR's heel antics, like Cash rubbing Dax's bald head and like making it clean. I thought that was silly. It's stuff like this until they get to the devastating stuff. Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness were actually like working pretty well together. I thought that was pretty fun to watch. Nigel actually giving the hot tag to Daniel Garcia was a really nice touch. I liked that, building up to him, making him look like the triumphant babyface and making him the like one to lose at the end, but not really his fault. Was also really smart. Nigel reversing, like he was getting thrown into the ring and he just reversed it and elbowed Cash and then threw him into the or
dude.
they threw Nigel into the announce table a couple times. Oh, that was so bad. And then like when FTR was intimidating Tony Schiavone, like I don't know how they did it, but like you could legit see the shadows covering Dax's eyes and you couldn't see him. Like I don't know how they did it. Or if it just happened to do that. He legit looked evil. It was amazing. Um, and then they kept on trying to hit the Tower of London on Nigel, and then it actually cost him because Daniel Garcia was able to counter it, and then they got FTR to double clothesline each other, which I thought was funny. And then they hit dual submissions, which was fun. And then I loved this is probably my favorite part of the match. Nigel going outside and like holding Cash's ear and being like, "Apologize, apologize to
Yeah.
Tony." He's like, I'm sorry." And Taz is
He
like,
called
"You
him
guys."
Mr. Shivani.
Yeah, yeah. And Taz is
I'm
just like,
sorry, Mr. Shivani.
"You guys are weird." And he's like, "It's kind of a collision thing." I loved it. He acknowledged their relationship on collision. Oh, so funny. Oh, and then legit, I can't remember a match that has left me that like truly sad. Like we were there for Danielson and Moxley and Wrestle Dream, and I was more sad for this
Oh
match.
yeah.
Because goddamn, they hit Nigel McGuinness with the Shatter Machine on the outside. I don't care if that was fake blood in his mouth, but there was something red in his mouth as he was like crawling with everything he could,
Yeah.
and then Dash just doing like a little stomp to kick him. Like it was like, yeah, like that's all he had to do. It's so awful.
Yeah.
And then just how they were terrible to Daniel Garcia. Oh, that poor kid. I thought they were gonna do more, but I was like, no, like that was enough.
Yeah.
Like they were horrible in the match. That was really oh my god.
Yeah, it was terrible. And like Nigel coming back, like, for me, anyways, too, is still a huge deal. Like, and for him to just like you said at the end, just like that little stomp, and like that's all you need. You're done. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I'm still like I would never if I'm gonna fantasy book, I'm never gonna consider Nigel McGuinness to wrestle unless it's something like this where he's been involved heavily in the story since it started. But like because every time he wrestles, it's just a treat, you know. I don't. It's like if Brian Danielson ever came back, I don't expect it, but it's a nice treat, you know. So, good God, they were horrible to him. So this makes me really invested in Daniel Garcia. I hate FTR like I should because they're bad guys. And I hope Nigel McGuinness can recover if he was hurt. He probably wasn't, but who knows? He sold it well.
yeah,
reason like 32 I need to be watching Collision. Like like I love Nigel and I love the it's a Collision thing. Like, oh my god, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
why am I not watching this fucking show? Like
See,
it,
I knew this FTR angle was gonna be amazing from the first segment because I don't know if I told you guys about it, but like it's the one where on Dynamite Tony Schiavone just kind of said something like, "I'm very disappointed in FTR," and so they invited Tony Schiavone in the ring. So they're like, "Why did you say that?" And they're just intimidating him and bullying him. And then Nigel gets up and gets in between them, and it's like from then on, I knew
Yeah.
this was gonna be a great angle, and like they delivered on the pay-per-view, and I would want to see Cope and Christian beat them. I think I genuinely would want to see that. Even though I'm not the biggest Cope fan right now, he's not
Yeah.
going for the tag titles.
That
So
that nostalgia pop and like you said, it's an angle. It's like it's the bullies getting their comeuppance.
mhm.
It's a really like it's a simple story, but it's really good.
And if you do it with like Cope and Christian in Toronto, like yeah, I think that's perfect.
when was the last time they tagged together?
Oh,
Like
the Bush administration?
2006?
I genuinely would say the Bush administration.
It's gonna be epic, dude. I cannot wait. Oh yeah.
Um,
It'll be something. Like I'm sure like after Edge, became the single star he did, I'm sure they like got together
so
a time or two after that.
so what they say is the team disbanded in 2001. So that's probably the last
What?
match they had. But they did reunite briefly under the SmackDown brand in 2011. But what I think that was it was in the lead up to Edge and Del Rio at Mania, and I think Christian was there in Edge's corner, and they probably kind of knew Edge was gonna retire, so they were like, we'll put Christian in your corner for a little bit so you can hang with him. I don't think they tagged, but I'm gonna keep looking. So if you guys just want to talk.
Dude. Wow. Um yeah, I'm totally digging heel FTR. They're they've like rebounded 180 from how I felt about them 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're just so much better as that. And Stokely, dude, love him. What a unique, you know, pairing. Like out
Yeah,
of
I was a
nowhere.
little worried. I thought he might be a little too cartoonish, but for some reason it's working for me.
Yep. He's like got that real feel to him and yeah, dude. I'm uh I'm all for it. Yeah. FTR got a lot of heat from this match. Who knows where Garcia's gonna go from here, but yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there's
let's
a lot
see.
of that question after this pay-per-view. I feel like that was like the ending point of a lot of feuds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, but yeah, after that, while Chandler's looking this up, we had AEW's very first. Oh,
I found it. I had to go to cage match. So I have two answers. I have the last official tag team match, and I have the last official match. So this was broadcasted on the March 28th, 2011 Monday Night Raw. Christian and Edge defeated Alberto Del Rio, and does anybody want to guess?
Oh man.
2011 heels on WWE's roster.
Oh man.
Cesaro,
No. Um
Miro,
he was an NWA champion. I'll tell you that.
uh, NWA champion,
He was on Fox
Shamrock.
News a lot.
Oh God, what's his fucking name? The
Brodus
big goofy dude.
Clay.
Oh geez, I forgot about him.
Until they do it in AEW, which God they need to, because their last official match on television cannot be against Alberto Del Rio and Brodus Clay. No. And then so their last official match is the April 5th, 2011 SmackDown. It's a dark match. Christian, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Big Show, and Triple H defeat Alberto Del Rio and the Core, Ezekiel Jack and Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, and Wade Barrett. And they actually teamed together on TV. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. On TV, they teamed together twice in the 2011 run, and then 3 times at a house show, and then 3 times in a dark match. And then before that, the last time was 2005.
Damn.
Well, you know they're going to get Gangrel involved in AEW.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to be their
dumb.
last match. Will probably have Gangrel come out or something like that.
And they'll be Brood.
Which, speaking of which, because I thought this Double or Nothing was a pretty good show, and I remembered last year's Double or Nothing was a pretty bad show. We're going to be reviewing or comparing and contrasting the two shows. Do you remember Gangrel was on Double or Nothing last year?
I remember that.
Was that where Cope broke his leg?
Yeah, Cope and Malachi Black. That match is so crazy.
Wow.
So Adam Copeland defeated Malachi Black by technical knockout. Okay, technical knockout. In a barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT Championship. Had Copeland lost, he would have had bent the knee and joined the House of Black.
Instead, he broke it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Yeah.
No,
wow.
funny. So yeah, we'll go through a couple more of those matches later. But yeah, so that match happened, and Gangrel was there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, back to 2025. We got AEW's very first stretcher match, which what they call it an ambulance match in WWE.
Yeah.
Okay. This was wildly fun. Like I knew Ricochet was gonna win because he's getting a push right now. But Briscoe, man, oh my God, what a star!
Yeah.
Like he needs a push. That freaking mohawk, come on.
Come on.
Oh,
I
dude.
thought Clash of Clans was sponsoring WWE.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely great. But yeah, Ricochet ends up low blowing Briscoe, stabs him with scissors, low blows him, hits him with a spirit gun, throws him in the ambulance, shuts the door. Briscoe's just literally leaking blood everywhere. Like,
Oh yeah, that
almost
stretcher
squirting.
spot. Oh, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Because it like
bright
when
yellow
they're like
stretcher.
working it, they'll be like, oh, but no, he was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that blood just showed up on that bright yellow too. It was like, oh.
And how about that amazing shot of the floor with the scissors and the puddle of blood next to it that they got?
Yeah, when did the Netflix team start doing AEW?
Dude, it was perfect. Absolutely great. Yeah, I thought this match was wildly fun. This is like, to some people, this match was like extreme as hell. You know what I mean? Like absolutely nuts. But then we got Anarchy in the Arena. Like,
yeah,
that's almost cartoonish though. Like,
yeah,
that was so over the top.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena is kind of just a silly fun time match. This one felt a little bit more serious, even though it still felt kind of silly. But like it was pretty fun. I loved the froggy bow through the table. It was just a nice, satisfying crunch.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because he was basically in the ambulance, takes him all the way back to the ring, beats him up a little, throws him off the table.
Yeah,
it was like Mark Briscoe's not all there anyways.
You know, it was like you said, Dave, Ricochet, we all expected it, but I was disappointed, right? But you know what? They made it work out in the end, so I'm okay with it.
Wonder how that conversation went. Okay, I gotta go shower now. No, you're not.
No, you gotta stay there. We got a fun surprise.
Yeah. Um, I like Briscoe did the Sabu, point
Yeah,
before he tried to launch, but Ricochet hit him in the head with a chair.
yeah.
Uh, I love that Briscoe always does or tries to do the Cactus Jack elbow off like weird places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, man, so much blood. It looked like a freaking horror movie. I liked Briscoe putting the crutch through the ambulance door the first time Ricochet tries to get him in there. Then the fire extinguisher. Yeah, good stuff, man. Really good stuff. A great J driller. Um, only thing I guess I realized I wanted was to see a cutthroat driver.
I bet you they want to protect that move. So if Briscoe's losing, you don't want to have him hit
Yeah.
that move on Ricochet. Because I would say it was a competitive match, but in kayfabe, Ricochet won pretty dominantly. I would say
Yeah.
he looked pretty good in the end.
Yeah.
So
That finish, he just like leveled up. It was pretty
yeah.
convincing. Although I did like Mark briefly no selling the stab to the head.
Oh yeah, I loved Briscoe in this. Briscoe is a treat, but this was a big Ricochet match,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. He kind of needed something like this. He was losing a lot, and not everybody can win all the time in AEW. So,
Let's see. What would be interesting? Ricochet Omega?
and
He
not
already he already he already did Swerve. He already did
Omega's
Osprey.
busy with Okada. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I just thought it. Just
Samoa Joe.
to get gold on Ricochet, Adam Cole beat him for the TNT title. But I also
Beautiful.
I don't really want to see that match. I just want to see the result of Ricochet winning that title. Other
Mhm.
than that, just because fuck it, Ricochet Claudio, that'd be a fun match. Even though
Oof.
they're both heel and it makes zero sense why it would happen. Yeah, that's what I would pick. Ricochet
Yeah.
Claudio. I just want to
Yeah.
see that right now.
That'd just be a fun match to watch for sure.
I was about to say Ricochet Pac, but Pac's injured, so fuck. I don't know, but yeah, fun match. And it was not pretty cool that these two guys got to be in the first stretcher match in AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moment in history. After that, we had an AEW World Tag Team title match. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin with MVP and
It
MJF.
was. I kind of forgot that they had the contract signing, and I didn't watch Dynamite, so I kind of expected it to go bad. So to just see like the 3 days and then MJF at the bottom, I was like, "Oh, really? That's so weird." Like I don't mind it, and I actually loved MJF in the match, but I just was like, "Oh, that's so odd. It just looks so weird." But we'll get into it.
Yeah. And yeah, they defended against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara.
The guy who wrestled in Cody's last match in AEW. And the guy who wrestled
Yeah.
in Cody's first match in AEW. Whoa.
Ooh.
Wow. But yeah, man, the "We Hurt People" chant never gets old. That is money. Like they're almost too cool to be heels, right?
Yeah, I see. I want to say what they're doing with the Hurt Syndicate is failing because they haven't been they haven't been really having good matches, I would say. Um, and they're kind of killing the tag team division right now, but they're so over and they're so entertaining that it's kind of like, whatever. Like, I don't really care that the
Hmm.
tag team division is nuked right now. I'm
Yeah.
kind of, but it's also sad because the tag team division in AEW has been bad since like Sting had it.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
was a long time ago. And then even then, it was Ricky Starks and Big Bill, which wasn't like setting the world on fire. So, ugh,
Nah,
ugh,
yeah, and it's just a bummer because like at its inception, tag team wrestling was kind of one of their focal points.
yeah,
It used to be fantastic division.
God, Kenny and Hangman,
Oof,
that was the peak of
yeah.
the tag team division.
yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
I I only have one note. I thought this match was fine. It wasn't bad, but all of the important, like, I never thought for a single second that Bobby or Shelton were gonna lose, and I don't think you should put those types of matches on pay-per-views, unfortunately. Um, but it was still fine. I only have one commentary or note I have. It was a line from MVP, and he said, "If Sammy wants to fly, Shelton will be more than happy to oblige." Because Sammy was trying to like flip around the ring, and Shelton was just catching him and giving him Germans. So I thought that was funny from MVP. Other than that, I don't know. MJF was silly. Like the little bit where Bobby like looked mad and then was like, "Ah, you cool white boy."
Yeah.
Was weird, but like whatever. They're let's just plugging along.
Yeah, yeah, I like that little interaction when he was gonna hit him, then he's like, "No, no, no, I got this," and just plows him through the barricade of him.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
I think he was like, I appreciate you trying to help, but I got this. Which like it's Dustin and Sammy. I hope you got this.
fair.
Yeah. But yeah, Sammy took the pin after Shelton hit him with a thrust kick. Um, yeah, MJF tried to give his ring to Shelton Benjamin at one point. They're like, no, that's not what we do. Then that little spot with Bobby where we thought he was mad, but then they're like, oh, we're good. And they hug, and then he speared Dustin. Um, yeah, it wasn't bad. Like MJF made it interesting. MVP makes it, good no matter what. And I just like seeing people get released German suplex all over the place.
Yeah. Well, do we want a fun fact of what MJF was doing at Double or Nothing last year? Does
Ooh,
anybody remember what
what he
MJF
do?
did last year? I don't think you'll remember.
Man, oh man, MJF. Ugh. Gosh, no, I have no idea.
So in the opening match, Will Ospreay defeated Roderick Strong for the AEW International Championship. After the match, Adam Cole came out and revealed that he wasn't in the wheelchair anymore and he was cutting a promo and MJF interrupted him. That's when he was like really spray tanned and had the cut off leather jacket and he had the fake tattoo, the AEW fake tattoo. That was what he did. Yeah,
Wow, wow.
I
That seems like not that long ago
yeah, I
that that happened.
completely forgot about that. But yeah, so that's what he was up to. And then I'll
He
just
gave
rush.
he gave Adam Cole a brain buster, right?
I think so. Or he low blowed him or something because he might not have been able to take a bump yet. But yeah, so that was that. And then funny enough, the next match, which I didn't remember this at all, the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, which greatly miss, defeated Death Triangle. Who are they? I don't remember a Death Triangle. I
Oh,
remember Pac and Alex Abrahantes and Commander, right? Wasn't that the triple threat?
totally.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was a trios match for the Unified World Trios Championship. So yeah, I'll hand it back to you, Dave, because the next one I think is Tony Storm,
Um,
or is it?
Continental title.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Really fun match. But Okada ends up drop kicking Bailey out of midair. Then hits a Rainmaker for the win. Um, I feel like in this match, Bailey like kind of pushed Okada to the limit to where we got to see. They always say New Japan Okada, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think like Bailey kind of put him in peril enough to have him unleash that side of him that we don't get. We don't get to see that Okada like
Not
for no reason.
It's not
Like,
even guaranteed on pay-per-views he goes that hard,
Yeah.
which, he's the wrestler. He gets to do what he wants, but I thought this one was really good. I think he only's gone this hard for like what, Pac and Osprey? Like those are the only
mhm.
other times I would say he went this hard. But God, it was a thing of beauty. Like I love Okada. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. I love even his crappy TV matches because he does something cheesy or silly or something. Like his match at World's End against Ricochet was pretty bad, but that's the one where he ran all the way around the ring and like was doing circles and then just slapped Ricochet on the head. Like that's all I need. That's enough.
Uh-huh.
But then you get a match like this where he's doing those like laser precise drop kicks again, and they're beautiful and they look like they're devastating. And it's like, where's this guy been? Like there was one where he basically hit like he kind of was in the way of doing a house call, but it wasn't a house call, but like he kicked Bailey out of the ring doing it. It was like a single leg drop kick. It was amazing. And then him catching him doing the shooting star press with a drop kick. This was a fantastic Okada match, and I'm glad Speedball Mike Bailey got it out of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was definitely the right choice. I was like, it was one of those when they announced it, I was like, huh, that's kind of confusing. But then I was like, oh, it's gonna be really good though, isn't it? Like right from that crane kick early on, he pulled that out again. I was like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
How about Bailey's amazing roundhouse kicks?
Mhm.
Like
Unbelievable.
they kind of make Malachi Blacks look like shit.
No, dude, he's been so good since he came back to WWE. Aren't you watching?
What has he been doing?
Well, he lost in the Money in the Bank qualifier, but that was okay because LA Knight won, and he didn't pin Black
Yeah.
because, of course, Black's not gonna take a pin in a Money in the Bank qualifier match. But good God, I'm just praying that LA Knight wins Money in the Bank this year. He needs it.
I love
Um,
LA Knight.
mhm. Now
Big
they're gonna
fan.
give it to Solo Sikoa.
Ooh, that's smart. Not really.
Can we talk about the good wrestling promotion? Uh, uh.
Yeah. Women's wrestling is alive and well in 2025 in AEW. Tony Storm defending her AEW Women's World Championship against my girl, Mina Shirakawa. I'm so glad she signed with AEW officially. This was like her match to show everyone like she's not just like dancing and sexual innuendo. She can fucking go.
I honestly thought she was working heel and like she was gonna turn heel by the end because she was hitting Tony so hard and doing some dastardly stuff. But then it's like by the end, it's like, oh no, that's just Mina. And
Yeah.
like Mina at Forbidden Door last year, that was just trying to be silly. And
Mhm.
then I hate to say it, Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May looking back was not that great. But this was really good to showcase Mina. And I don't think I've said it, but if you look at the people they've acquired this year for AEW, I think they've all been pretty smart acquisitions, and they're not like huge names like Bobby Lashley or Will Ospreay or Monet, right? But I think they're people that you give them a year or two, or even just a couple months, and I think they're going to be really like AEW's really going to let them shine. I
Oh
think the
yeah.
only kind of question mark right now is Josh Alexander, and that's only because he's in the Callis family, and there's a lot going on in the Callis family right now. So it's kind of hard for anyone to get over right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was rambling, but
Dude, Kevin Knight, amazing. Mike Bailey, amazing.
Josh
I can't wait for
Alexander, Mina
yeah.
Shirakawa.
I can't wait for this Tekla to
Mm-hmm.
debut. Apparently she's something amazing that, and WWE wanted her.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, Mina put up a very, very hard uh challenge for Tony Storm. But Mina gets a figure 4 on Tony. Tony makes it to the ropes. They alternate big packages, but Tony ends up hitting a Storm Zero for the win. I like that Mina's like go-to is either the normal figure 4 or the inverted figure 4. I like that's her bag of tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Good
Yeah,
stuff,
I
man.
love how she targets that leg. Like it looked vicious. Like Tony's a pretty
Yeah.
good seller, but could you picture somebody with maybe on like a Buddy Murphy level, or Buddy Matthews level
Oh.
level of selling like against someone like her? That oh man, you know how when he's done a match and he'd be like limping, you'd be questioning like, did he really get hurt? Like,
Oh yeah, it's after
yeah.
every Buddy Matthews match, we're like, did he injure his knee? What
Yeah,
did he do?
yeah. So
Did his
yeah,
shoulder really come out of socket?
Yeah,
yeah.
what did he do to his ankle this time?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to see that, like that level of selling from Tony.
It's funny,
Yeah.
Chad, that you called him Buddy Murphy because I did basically the same thing with someone else. I was writing down something for the Monet Hater match, and I wrote bank statement,
Thanks.
and I was like, no, and I was like, statement maker, statement maker. Like I was like, I can't believe I did that. But it was bank statement for years,
Yeah.
for years.
During the pre-show, Jeff Jarrett called them the Hurt Business.
That happens. Oh my God! Thank God Monet didn't win with the moneymaker. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yep.
God. She dropped Hater on her head. I don't like that, but at least it wasn't the Monet maker. But back to Shirakawa Storm. It was a really excellent match. I don't remember much about it. I just kind of was enjoying it. Mina worked really hard, so I hopefully they did the thing with Megan Bain where she had her big push and then lost, and then she's kind of getting lost in the shuffle. I really hope they don't do that with Mina Shirakawa. I think she's a really special talent. She's got great live show energy. And listening to her entrance, it was like, I can't believe like there was even a question to change it.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like Randy Orton. Did you know that he was even on board to change his theme song? And if it wasn't for Backlash, the France crowd singing it, he was going to change it. And it's like, why? Why would you do that?
Iconic.
So, yeah. Part of the reason Adam Copeland had all that momentum going in, not just because he's Adam Copeland, but he got Metalingus and he's still the Rated R superstar. Like, there was a lot, like, it kind of was cool that he got all that. I don't know. Why would you change it? Why would you change it?
Yeah. I mean, Tony literally made the call mid-match.
Thank God he did. That's great. So he can pivot. You can pivot. We found out. Sorry, this is a good show. Why am I getting mad? This is a good show.
Yeah, man. I love Mina Shirakawa. I love that they kissed at the end and Mina kisses Tony's knee. Dude, it was so good, man. How about that tornado off of Luther's back?
That was amazing.
Oh yeah. I like how
yeah.
Luther's just there to take a bump every match now because he took a pretty hellacious one with Mariah May. Then that was like 5 seconds in. I'm pretty sure he took a punch with Meg. Or no, he stole Penelope Ford. That's what it was. So yeah. Okay. Back to last year. So it went international match and then trios match. Then it was a Toni Storm match. Who did she wrestle for the AEW Women's World Championship? Who did she defend it against?
Riho.
Nope.
Sheeta.
Nope.
That's what I was thinking.
Nyla
Rose?
Nope.
I know that's not it.
What do you give up?
Anna Jay.
Nope.
I got nothing.
Serena Deeb.
Oh, that feud sucked.
Yeah, I don't want to be too mean, but Once again, this show wasn't that good. I'm pretty sure if you go back and watch a review, I'm sure I said something nice about this match, but I can't remember anything about it. And then I'm gonna say the next 3 matches because it was like, oh, it's a whole lot of just shit. Orange Cassidy defeated Trent Beretta. That's when we were like, can Trent win? Oh my God,
Yeah,
is he gonna win? And he never beat him. I don't think he's still beating Orange Cassidy. And then Chris Jericho defeated Hook and Shibata to retain the FTW title in a 3-way. So, oh boy, that was another good one. And then John Moxley defeated Konosuke Takeshita in the IWGP heavyweight. Remember that? I got really mad at that one because I was like, "It's an eliminator. Why can't he win?" And then I think I rationalized it with like, I'm sure New Japan was like, "We don't want our world champ losing," which is fine. But then I just wouldn't have booked the match, quite frankly. But that's just because I'm a big Takeshita fan. Also, it sucked. Like it was just a dog shit match. And then the next match was Adam Copeland and Malachi Black and the whole break your leg nonsense. And I'll save the last 3 matches for later.
All right. Time for Anarchy in the Arena. Unbelievable. My match of the night. I'm a sicko. This was a freaking wild ride. I didn't mind bodies playing 5 times in a row.
This was a very good reminder of why AEW is a great alternative because it was like silly, but it still had some pretty like sick spots and sick in the sicko sense. But like even for me and my squeamish self, I think the Ricochet Mark Briscoe stretcher spot was like worse, and the Monet DDT was worse than anything that happened.
Yeah, this felt like more cartoonish, and these were like set up spots, whereas like some of that other stuff just felt violent.
It didn't take away from it, right? Like Swerve getting stapled on the tongue is badass. Sorry to spoil that.
That was funny at the end too, where after the bell rung and he stuck his tongue out so you could see the fucking staple.
That was great. Hobbs no selling them was cool. Like this was a really well done Anarchy in the Arena, which I'll get to last year's eventually, but I thought last year's was like pretty bad. Like I remember just being like that one sucked. But anyways, let's talk about the good one.
All right, we got Team Good Guys, Kenny Omega, Swerve, Samoa Joe, Shibata, Hobbs, and Willow Nightingale versus John Moxley. So the Young Bucks, but man, they should probably just change their name to the Founding Fathers.
Oh, right? Do you think they could get away with that? Like actually changing their names?
Like they're not the Young Bucks anymore. Like I think they could pull this off.
I don't want them to do that every single time, but it was pretty funny. Them like him going through that whole stupid spiel, and then like their music was so quiet, I wasn't even like really realizing that it was playing, and then I was like, how long is their music? Like, why is it still playing? What is going on? So it was funny. It was pretty funny.
But yeah, with them, Claudio, Yuta, and Marina Shafir. I like Justin Roberts. He's like, cover your ears. Oh shit! It's time for Anarchy in the Arena. Swerve came out in the most awesome wrestling cosplay I think I've ever seen. Full Predator cosplay with the like heat vision on the freaking big screen behind him. Oh my god, dude. I popped hard for that. Samoa Joe doesn't come out with the good guys. Kenny is Captain America?
Captain Canuck.
He's something, all right. That was definitely not. That was definitely the worst of the entrances.
Yeah, I was expecting him to come out as the cleaner, with the barbed wire broom.
Ooh, that would have been fun.
So yeah, we had the Young Bucks coming out. They're the Founding Fathers. They've got like a preamble intro from Justin Roberts.
You missed the most important part. The Death Riders came out and they went in separate places. Ooh. How are the Death Riders still the most boring part of this match? Oh, sorry.
Absolutely. So they're wearing Revolutionary War era get-ups. We start the match. We got a really cool like 4-window picture box thing going on. I really like
How did it get
that.
to 6 years of these? And then they're like, oh, we should do multiple picture-in-pictures. How did it take this long? And they've had stadium stampedes. Like, how did it take
Yeah.
this long?
Yeah. Samoa Joe pops up and attacks Claudio way up in the rafters. Marina Shafir suplexes Willow on the barricade. Kenny wants some different music. I'm so excited from the Pointer Sisters plays, and he's like getting into it, and like
Yeah.
he has to convince Swerve, and Swerve's just like, all right, and then he changes it to Bodies by Drowning Pool. Dude, I popped hard for that. It was great. It was just complete literal anarchy. Like Moxley stabbing Hobbs in the head with a freaking, was it a fork or
Yeah.
a blade?
There's
I
a
think it was
fork.
fork.
And that's something to do with tribute to Sabu, apparently. Hobbs throws Yuta off the balcony onto a pile of security guards. Kenny backflips off the balcony into the pile. Moxley stabbing Hobbs in the head again. Hobbs is bleeding. Powerhouse Hobbs gives Mox a spine buster through a table. Willow breaks the bottle over Marina Shafir's head. That was supposed to be a Sabu thing, too. Shibata kicks Yuta with barbed wire on his leg. Claudio gives Swerve a giant swing into a speaker, and the music stops. I like how like one speaker is supposed to be the music
Right.
for the whole
Mhm.
thing. That was good though. That was a good touch.
Yeah.
Hobbs shoves Claudio in a stack of stage cases. Shafir chains Willow to the ring post by her
Gage.
Oh my
gauged
gosh.
ear. Dude, I've never seen that, dude. I thought she was gonna like yank it out. I thought that's
I was
was
hoping
where we
she
were.
wouldn't the whole time. I'm like, please don't. Please don't.
I was like, dude, she's ripping that thing out. They're gonna do a close up on it. They didn't though.
Mm-mm.
Uh Kenny gets that really neat, that combo senton power bomb that the Bucks do.
Oh yeah.
Uh, right into a table. The heels get the upper hand at this point. Nick Senton's Hobbs through a table from the top of the stage. That was kind of a scary spot. They even were like, "Oh, did Nick hit his head?" So like, yeah, I was a little worried there. Hobbs takes multiple chairs to the face on the stage. Then Swerve comes in on a forklift, and Swerve stomps the Young Bucks right off the pallet. Hobbs spine busters the Bucks and Yuta. No sells chair shots from Marina Shafir and Claudio. Nana ends up setting Willow free. Nick Jackson 450s Samoa Joe off the top rope. Swerve 450s John Moxley while he's choking out Kenny. Hobbs no sells a staple gun. Swerve ends up stapling like all kinds of people coming at him, like as they're like jumping towards like the boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
that was probably my favorite part of this
Yeah.
match. Just him doing it all to everyone. Oh, it was great.
The Yuta one was funny because that was just so casual, right in the nads.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. Oh god, I love Swerve. Matt Jackson gets it stapled in the balls. Marina Shafir staples Swerve's tongue. Willow spears Yuta and the Young Bucks. This is where they started getting intergender, like pretty, more than they were. Moxley gives Willow a cutter. Kenny Snapdragon suplexes Marina Shafir. The Bucks super kick Nana. Then the ref, and that's their homeboy, Rick Knox.
How could they?
Then they super kick Willow. Then Swerve and Willow give Matt uh, a EV or a TK driver with Willow holding him up.
That was
Oh my
cool.
god, it was insane. Hook shows up with a golf club and hits Claudio. Joe wants him to like come have fun, but like I wonder where they're going with this. He's just like and just walks away. So maybe he's jealous that they won the trio titles. Maybe they're gonna do that story. Joe hits Moxley with a muscle buster, then a rear naked choke. But then Gabe Kidd shows up. He saves Moxley with that briefcase. The Bucks give Kenny an EVP trigger with thumbtacks in his mouth. Claudio gives him a giant swing. Then Moxley gives Kenny a bulldog choke. Samoa Joe makes a save. They take Joe to the ambulance, but Mark Briscoe shows up out of nowhere, dives off the stage onto Gabe Kidd, which that's probably going to be the Forbidden Door match, right?
Oh heck
Yeah, probably.
Oh, can't wait.
Like I said,
The good
what's it been? At least an hour since his match though, and he's just dried on fucking
it's
horror
turning
show.
like brownish red.
Oh,
Oh my god. Oh, so good. So the good guys throw all the bad guys into the ambulance and are like holding the door shut. Swerve and Omega give the Bucks tandem V trigger and house call. That blew my mind. Oh my god. So I want Hangman Osprey as a tag team, and now I want Swerve Kenny as a tag team. I want Swerve Hangman as a tag team. Uh, we got Kenny Osprey already, so that happened.
Oh, we could see it again. Come
Yeah.
on, don't be humble. Don't be humble.
Swerve puts on. So apparently there's some kind of like shoe deal he got, like Iversons or something.
This was probably my only complaint about this match. This spot took a little too long and kind of killed the match a little bit, but it ended right after, so it was fine.
yeah. It was like, oh, he's changing shoes in the middle of all this. It just feels awkward.
So they got tacks on the bottom. Kenny gives Matt a one-winged angel off the stage onto a table that explodes. And then Swerve gives Nick a swerve stomp with the tacks on his shoes for the win. Absolutely epic. This is like a 40-minute match. Absolutely insane. I loved it. I'm a sicko. This is beautiful. What do you guys think?
Oh, I had so much fun. Like it was funny because like during that, I was like probably 5 minutes in, like, man, I really gotta go to the bathroom. Not doing it. And flew by too. Like I was like, man, that felt pretty quick. Then I like saw the time and did the math. I was like, oh, it was really well done. Some cool little details too. Like right after the bottle smash outside from Willow, then Yuta comes through the door like he got shoved, and then the camera guy turns to pick it up and then follows Yuta back through the door as Yuta gets back into the fight. Such a cool transition to go from one scene to the next. It was like just helped it flow so much. Like they seriously, I want to know how long they spent putting this together because like it was just like it was a masterpiece of just craziness going all around, but they made it flow so nicely, which is I think what like last year really lacked, which was there were some cool spots, but it all felt very disjointed.
Yeah. I concur. I thought this. I think I've been pretty outspoken about not liking these big AEW plunder matches, but I had like last year's Anarchy in the Arena, which we'll talk about. Just did not like it, and then last year's Blood and Guts, which the only thing I liked about it was Swerve and Hangman. So it's like, I just haven't had a lot of good success. But this one was like, oh, this is what they're supposed to be. Everyone delivered. It was nonstop fun. Loved the run-ins from Gabe Kidd and Mark Briscoe, just throwing a little bit more anarchy. Pun intended. Yeah, Samoa Joe is fantastic. Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega is fantastic. Yeah, I don't really have many notes to say because especially Dave kind of got them all. But yeah, this was a really good match. I loved the Young Bucks doing their silly little gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. My match of the night. Uh, but yeah, we had a little cool off match after Anarchy in the Arena. Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher of the Don Callis family versus Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, the Paragon. Um, I gotta say, like Roddy looked really great in this match. Um, Adam Cole didn't look too bad. But yeah, this is Anarchy in the Arena is a tough match to follow. The crowd needed a little minute to uh, recuperate after that. But yeah, Fletcher gets the win after a brainbuster to O'Reilly. The Don Callis family do a post-match beatdown, but then Brody King and Ishii show up, and then Tanahashi shows up with them to make the save. Tanahashi sling blade Fletcher, and Adam Cole lowers the boom on Fletcher.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like a lot of people. I mean, it's like Roderick Strong, Takeshita, Fletcher. A lot of people I like, but like I just could not care about this match.
Yeah.
It happened. Um, there was a good bit where I think O'Reilly was pinning somebody, but Takeshita picked him up and did his like German. So like, yeah, of course Takeshita looks great.
Deadlift.
I loved.
Yeah.
Shocking. Takeshita was my favorite part about this match. But yeah, if they did not need a little bathroom break match, this match would not have been on this card.
Yeah.
But they needed a little breaky poo. That's fine. And I was so fine with the Tanahashi, Ishii, Brody King stuff because I was like, oh, Forbidden Door's coming up next. Yeah, that makes sense. Forbidden Door's in August. All In's before this. So I was like, and I just kind of realized this while we're recording. I was like, wait, does that mean Tanahashi and Ishii are going to be all in? Like, I'm not against that, but I would rather have that match be at Forbidden Door. And I would rather have all in. If they're going to do a Don Callis triple threat match, why not like the Ops and Don Callis for the trios? Yeah, I know. So, like, like, why can't it be AEW talent on the AEW show? But I'm sure. I don't know, I'm not even gonna get excited about Brody King, Ishii, and Tanahashi. Like that's a Forbidden Door match, but not on Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. They're just like starting to do a bit of a Forbidden Door build because, yeah, I feel like All In's like too too pivotal to be doing like Bullocks matches like that. Like it'll be fun, it'll be great Forbidden Door match, but like All In should almost be like Double or Nothing, where like a lot of stuff's getting blown off.
Well, they did that the first year of All In, where it was like, we'll just get people in trios matches, and that's how we'll like. And it's like Kenny Omega was in a trios match, Hangman Page was in a trios match, like all this weird stuff. Jericho fought Ospreay, and then like I feel like the second All In, they really were excellent, and like mostly because they had that Casino Gauntlet battle match, like they really executed it well, and they got everybody who should have been on that card on that card.
Yeah.
So, like, very commendable for that. I think last year's All In was, like, really well built. So, I hope they're keeping that in mind. However, because again, Buddy Matthews is injured. Brody King and Buddy would be a good match against the Don Callis family. And who would you pick to be their trios partner? Put it in the comment section down below.
Yeah. But yeah, they had to have that little cool down match before the main event.
Real quick, do we want to finish last year's Double or Nothing so we can
Yeah,
fully
let's
focus?
do it.
Okay, so I remember they did the WWE thing of we have 3 main events, and I remember being like, no, you don't. The main event's the one that's on last. But it was Monet versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good match. It was Monet's return match, but that was pretty sad because Willow only had a month-long reign, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And then this was definitely my favorite match of the night. I loved it. Swerve Strickland defeated Christian Cage to retain the AEW World title. This is the one where Swerve countered a spear with a house call.
Yeah, that was pretty slick.
And he it was just like a really good Swerve just beat Christian, and it was like a really good putting over of Swerve. I thought this was a fantastic match. And then the main event, the Elite, the Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Okada and Jack Perry defeat Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, which is just funny. And then the next AEW World Champion, Darby Allin. But yeah, so I remember there was the bit where Darby Allin set Jack Perry on fire, and then there was the bit where they held Darby Allin up by his feeties. And then I remember Jack Perry pinning Danielson with a Busaiku knee, and nobody, even commentary didn't really pick up on it. And it, I was like, I feel like that should be a big thing.
Yeah, it should have been.
But, Jack Perry sucked so much ass in that run that nobody cared. And so they set up the all-out match, and it was still why are they doing this match? I genuinely feel like Danielson's title reign would have been built perfectly if they just didn't have that Jack Perry match. Well, that's me. We don't need to talk bad about Jack Perry. We had Hangman Page versus Ospreay. And this
we did.
This match was generally okay.
Final of the Owen Hart tournament men's bracket. Will Ospreay, Hangman Page. Page was in the pink and black ring gear. I liked Ospreay's intro where they had a bunch of parts of his promo from last week. Really fun. So Ospreay at one point is kind of toying with Page to get under his skin. Ospreay dodges a buckshot lariat, then Page dodges a hidden blade really early in the match. Page forearms Ospreay to the mat, kind of showing that Ospreay can't compete with Page's strikes. That's just not a winning battle.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman Page fallaway slams Ospreay into the LED barricade, then a fallaway slam into the corner. Ospreay just bounces off the turnbuckle. Page kicks Ospreay in the face a couple times, but that just fires Ospreay up. Page kicks out after a torture rack into a Blue Thunder Bomb. Ooh. Page lands his moonsault off the top rope to Ospreay. Page gets a sharpshooter on Ospreay, but Ospreay gets to the ropes. Page no-sells a bunch of chops from Ospreay. Hangman Page hits Ospreay with a top rope buckshot and then goes for another buckshot, but Ospreay kicks Hangman's head and then does a shooting star press on Page while Page is draped over the top rope. That was a really cool spot that I liked. Ospreay kicks out after a tombstone pile driver. Paige counters a Styles Clash with an Angel's Wings. Paige goes for the best moonsault ever, but can't quite get it, and Ospreay nails him with a hidden blade. But Paige rolls to the apron, so he can't get pinned. Ospreay gives Paige a Styles Clash off the apron to the floor.
Gross. Great spot, but gross.
Hangman Page barely beats the 10 count after that, only to take an Oz cutter, then a hidden blade. Ospreay covers, but Hangman Page kicks out. What? Ospreay loses control. Starts laying into Page, really heel like he was like he snapped. It was great storytelling. Osprey hits Page's head into the Spanish announce table over and over and over. Page counters a Stormbreaker on the desk with a dead eye, but the table collapses a little bit too early. So Page just says fuck it and gives him another dead eye on the collapse table. I was fine with that. Yeah, that was kind of a like moment that it collapsed the way it did, but like he kind of hit the dead eye pretty well while it was going down.
Yeah,
So gave him one.
if he hadn't hit it again, I would have been satisfied with what he did. And even on commentary, they covered for it well. Where they were like, "Oh, well, those tables aren't meant to hold two men up there for that long, and they're tussling around. Like, yeah, no wonder it fell apart." And then they probably were like, how many times did Nigel get bashed on that table? How many times did somebody in Anarchy in the Arena get bashed on that table? Like, it took a beating that night. And then he hit it
So that,
like he hit a really good dead eye on top of it after all. So it doesn't matter.
yeah. But yeah, that they made up for that really well. Page goes for a buckshot lariat. So this is like the duel that they were like talking about in the promo, dude. Like they're just looking each other in the eye. They're both going for their finisher, but the cowboy wins. He hits the buckshot lariat, covers Osprey, but Osprey kicks out. Osprey counters a buckshot with a hidden blade, then a stormbreaker, but Hangman kicks out. Osprey gives Page a V trigger, then goes for a one-winged angel, but Page counters into big pressure. Oh
Amazing.
my god.
Such good storytelling.
Dude. Oh. Osprey gets his boot on the rope though at 2.99. Osprey counters a buckshot into a stormbreaker. Page counters a stormbreaker into a regular lariat, then a buckshot lariat for the win. Man, oh man, I don't think any of us thought Page was winning, right?
Chad did. And that's a
Oh my
perfect
gosh.
segue to our results. We'll just do this real quick. Last place was me. I went a little kooky. I thought Osprey would win. I went all in on Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, which I knew was a bad idea, but sometimes you just gotta do it for the love of the game. And even if I had split it, I still would have gotten third, so it doesn't really matter. And then I also thought the Death Riders were going to win, and every single prop bet I got wrong except for Tekla. I was right that she wasn't there. And then Dave got second. And the only thing I think helping him was you went all in on Ricochet, and you went all in on the faces, and you got the prop bets pretty right. But our big winner is Chad, because he actually put his 2 on Hangman. Yeah, and then everything else, like you just got really good 2s on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then all your prop bets were right. So
That was
yeah.
No, that I think they kind of did it intentionally too, because they knew like the crowd still needed time at the after Anarchy in the Arena, because like that slow build into that crazy finish, because they got the crowd back by the end, but man, I think everybody but was still just needed a minute after Anarchy in the Arena because
it was
yeah,
a nutty show.
Yeah, it went from me from being like an okay to pretty good match to holy shit, that finishing sequence, like the buckshot off the top rope, what the hell? Yeah, and then all like Hangman using a swerve move, like poetry. I thought that was poetry.
Yeah. I think I would be way more. I think I would be way more happy about this match, way more excited if I thought Hangman was winning. And I am so like dead set on Mox is just gonna keep holding that title. And I'm like, I can't get invested in this until it happens. You know, if they surprise me with Hangman, I'll do something nutty. You know, I'll eat something spicy. I'm that confident. And Hangman is losing it all in. Doesn't mean I want it to happen. It's
No,
just gonna happen.
that was my reasoning for that pick was if Ospreay wins, he's winning the title, and I think they're sticking to Darby. So I think they put Hangman in there because like Hangman and Mox had that great series with like involving concussions and stuff, and it was pretty squeamish. And I think they can get a good story out of it, and Hangman can take the loss.
I don't want that.
Are they gonna repeat it where Swerve's gonna come out to help him, but it still isn't gonna matter? Because remember Hangman came out at Dynasty to specifically help Swerve, and it didn't matter because the Young Bucks were there. So it's like, it's not just that Moxley retained. It's like he's retaining in the worst possible ways, like burning the Christian Cage contract to protect Cope, and then just spawning the Young Bucks out of nowhere to beat Swerve. Like, what are they gonna do it all in? Is Danielson gonna come back and turn heel on Page? Like what are they gonna do? So, but this was an excellent match. I'm not gonna poo-poo that, obviously. I think we all knew going in this was gonna be a fantastic match, and they definitely delivered. Both men deserve their credits, but yeah, it's that big ugly question where what does Ospreay do it all in now? Because you know, it was Dynasty where we didn't know what he was doing until the week prior, so it's like I really hope they don't do that again. But also, I don't know what I'd have him do. I was pretty set on him losing to Mox, unfortunately, but that's just what I thought. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I hope they.
What's next for Ospreay?
Yeah, I hope he steers clear of the Callus stuff. That's just done to death.
No more. I don't want to see him fighting any of those guys.
Christian Cage?
I'm not against it, but like, why though? And Christian's, he's gonna need a reason to go to Cope.
Google
he's always wanted to retire Billy Gunn, so he's gonna retire Billy Gunn. That's what I'll say.
Dad dead.
Ooh.
One day my dad will be proud of me, blah blah blah. It doesn't say one way or the other.
I mean, Eddie, Kota Ibushi. Oh wait, no, I think he's injured.
Maybe they've run back Ospreay Darby.
He's not back yet. Mark Quinn. I forgot about that guy. I don't know. I really don't see anyone on this that I'm like, yeah, that's a good opponent for Ospreay at All In, but they can obviously change that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tony's kind of got the magic of giving you a match and then you slap yourself on the head like, I didn't even know I needed that.
Yeah.
It'll be Jericho.
Oh. So unfortunately, I didn't comb through the roster because I don't want to take all day. But unfortunately, I'm kind of like doing a cop-out and saying what I did with Ricochet and just seeing something I don't like and changing it. Just give him the TNT title. Have him face Adam Cole.
There you go.
Is that a great idea? Yeah. Not really, but I don't have any better ideas.
He can team with man. He can take on the Hurt Syndicate at All In.
I was kind of thinking that, but then he'd have to find a tag team partner.
Him and Mike Bailey.
Or him and Kevin Knight. Either or.
Yep.
But yeah, so this was a very excellent main event. I'm very glad this was the main event. I think it felt very important. Yeah, a very good show overall.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Sure. After, like you said, the previous year, definitely feel like they're getting the groove back.
Did you know this is the first pay-per-view that AEW has have a good ending since All In last year?
Oh, damn.
Because All Out was the Hangman Page Swerve Steel Cage match, which was a well done ending, but a pretty fucking sad one.
Yeah.
And then it was Wrestle Dream, which I would say is a bad ending in hindsight, but also it's a pretty fucking sad one because it's Danielson's retirement and he gets choked out with a bag afterwards. And then it was Full Gear with Orange Cassidy, the World's End 4-Way, the Revolution Shitfest, the Dynasty Trash Fire, and then finally we got a happy one.
Yay.
Enjoy it, cause All In's gonna be sad. And then who does Moxley wrestle at Forbidden Door? Do you think they'll do Osprey then? Oh, and then have Osprey lose in London? Oh, never mind. No, I don't like that.
Oh my god.
Oh man, they gotta pivot, but they're just not going to.
They need to run Christian back to give him another shot.
Yeah, that was not fair. He deserves a actually. I don't know if I really want to see Christian and Mox because like I don't want to see Christian lose. You know?
Yeah.
No, I don't either. Ooh.
I was thinking like, oh, they're kind of setting up Joe to challenge again, but like I don't want to see Joe lose again. So, but I don't know. Anybody else have anything they want to say about AEW?
Oh,
What's happening on Wednesday?
Wouldn't you like to know? So they announced that like Fatal 4-Way for Fyter Fest. And it's for the international title. They're doing a Dynamite Collision double taping. All we know is Josh Alexander versus Brody King, which that'll be fun. And then on Collision, there's Claudio versus Commander, and Mascara Dorada versus Hechicero. And both of those are to get into that 4-way. So we'll know the 4-way participants by the end of Thursday.
Cool.
And that's it. I did have a little bit of WWE dirty laundry to air because Raw was filming as we were discussing, and they have 4 for each of the Money in the Bank participants. So they have Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and Penta for the men's. And then they have Rhea Bloody Ripley, Julia, Alexa Bliss, and I hate to say it, I can't remember the 4th person right now, but that's who's in the women's. And that was like whatever. The interesting thing, so on the same day, they're doing NXT and AAA Worlds Collide, and they announced them. Do you know what match they announced?
No.
Hijo de Vikingo versus Chad Gable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Also, they're not doing the Grande Americano. I genuinely think if they did Grande Americano, like, that would probably be seen as pretty bad. But also, like, why are we doing the Chad Gable shitty luchador gimmick and then not paying it off at the luchador pay-per-view and having someone take his mask? You know? Wasn't that like the whole... I thought that maybe he'll get, like, injured and they'll replace him or something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And then AEW in 3 weeks comes to Portland.
Yeah. First one I've ever missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are getting a cage match at Prestige.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, cool. I think I don't think I have anything else to add. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it on up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do
Thank you,
the thing.
Chad. Thank you, Chandler, for joining.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, again, really great pay-per-view. I highly enjoyed it. I'll give it an A. Feel good
Yeah.
moment.
Give it a
We
C
needed it.
plus. Saturday night's main event was better. I don't know, Dave. Was
How
Um,
about
Jay Uso
how about
versus
the
Logan
new
Paul?
the new TNH World Champion? Huh? You hear about
yeah.
that? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird. It's not a bad thing, but man, TNA does not look good in this WWE relationship either. But I guess like I don't know, it is TNA, so I guess like they're the little brother, and you know you unplug their controller and you let them think they're playing. You're like, oh, you're doing it, bud. But did you know that 3 outsiders have held the TNA World Title? One of them is Trick Williams. Can you guys name the other 2?
Christian
No.
Cage,
Can
Kenny
you name
Omega.
Yeah, it's Christian Cage and Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah.
That's such a weird list. 3 people have won the TNA World Title that were not signed with TNA, and it was Kenny Omega, Christian Cage, who beat Kenny Omega, and then Trick Willie.
Damn.
Whoop that trick! Oh, whoop that trick! I like it.
All right. Well, cool. We'll be coming at you with me and Chad will be reviewing a little Dynamite.
I actually will be there too.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I have this
Cool.
Thursday off, so Dynamite's back,
Cool.
baby.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Are we gonna do Dynamite?
Yeah, we are.
All right, we'll
We are.
just do the cage match. We're not gonna like start at 1 or something stupid like that. So whatever Dynamite we're on is whatever Raw we're gonna be on. I think last time we checked it was like 1998. So that's like the Attitude Era is heating up. So that'll be fun to kind of look at.
Yeah.
It will. It absolutely will. But cool. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a damn comment. And we are outie like a belly button. Bye.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Ah.
Well.